Everybody Has a Podcast with Chris Herbst is brought to you by Salvino's JR Models, official model car kit company of NASCAR, Indy cars, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Fully detailed plastic model car kits of your favorite teams and drivers, available at your local hobby store or at salvinosjrmodels.com. Hello, welcome to Everybody Has a Podcast with Chris Herbst, and that is me. I'm Chris Herbst. I know this first show, it's probably just a lot of family and friends, but that's great. So I probably didn't need to introduce myself, but if we do have some stragglers coming in, that's who I am. I'm joined by my producer extraordinaire. His name is Connor Herbst.
Hello, hello.
And you can tell by the last name, he is my wife. Just kidding. That's my eldest son, and very talented. He's the one that built this beautiful studio and put together all of the stuff that we're going to be doing as far as the transitions and the stuff like that I really think you're going to enjoy. This is our first show, so I thought probably should give you a little bit of an introduction if you are new to Chris Herbst on who I am and what I'm about. I'm an avid sports fan. Been so all my life, as long as I can remember, as a matter of fact. I was that kid that poured through the newspapers as a child, but only the sports section. I would memorize box scores from football, baseball, basketball, you name it. That's all I did. And as I got older, it was watching it on TV, and I had a dream to become a sports broadcaster. I always wanted to do something in the world of sports broadcasting. I applied for a job one year, a long time ago, asking for somebody that could sell radio sales and be an on-air talent at a new startup sports radio station, small one, in San Bernardino, California. I applied, went through a process of a few auditions, and was partnered with a gentleman named Tom Arthur. And Tom, if you're out there watching, hi, look what I'm doing. I know you like banking, but I have fun doing this. But Tom and I were put together, and we worked for about a year in San Bernardino at this small station. And then we went to Las Vegas to work for a network. That was not a long time that we worked there, because then we ended up going to a new station that was a sports station starting in Phoenix, Arizona. And we moved to Phoenix, Arizona, and worked in and around the Phoenix Suns and the Arizona Cardinals for some time. And then I thought it was over because the contract was bought out, and went home thinking I was going to sell computer components for a while. But then I got a call, and that call was from a friend of mine who had been on our shows for many times, especially on and around the NBA draft. And it was a gentleman by the name of David Locke, who is now the voice of the Utah Jazz and has been for quite some time, and has his own podcast network. Hey, David, you've got a podcast network. So, you know what that means, right, Connor? Yeah. Locked on Sports, by the way. I might as well give it a full plug. So if you've seen or listened to any of the Locked on Sports stuff, that is David Locke. But to get back to what I was talking about originally, I ended up working for David and the Utah Jazz for a year. They gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. We went to Utah, and I was there for a little while, and things just didn't work out, mostly because of me, I'd imagine. But so we moved on, and I've been out of that business now for, I'm trying to think. Well, it was the Utah Jazz Championship years. So think about when that was. That's how long it's been since I've been doing something like this. I went into sales after that, and I've been doing a lot of sales. And then I saw, hey, you know what? Everybody's got a podcast, and everybody does have a podcast. So why not jump in and give it a shot? Connor over here produces some other podcasts, so I kind of wrangled him and said, hey, would you be willing to produce a podcast for me? And like the good son that he is, he said no problem. And
absolutely,
we've been working on this for a little while. Still a few bugs and stuff that we're going to be working out, but I can't tell you how impressed I am with the way that it looks so far, and the way that it sounds, and the stuff that he's done. So it should be a lot of fun. So a couple things I need you to do, though. If you do like this or want to follow me, please subscribe. It's important for me to get subscribers, because then it kind of bleeds into other things as well, and it'd be really, really great. You'll also be able to get updates and stuff on what we're doing on our YouTube channel if you subscribe. So subscribe, tell your friends about it, and get them on board as well, because the more the merrier. Also, Any comments that you have, please put the comments in the comments section. I know Connor has told me before he doesn't even read them because he doesn't care, but I do care, positive and negative. Hit me up with stuff that you like, stuff that you don't like, and suggestions on what we could do with the show to make it better. I'm going to be always open to that.
And I do care about the positive ones.
Okay, he
just
does
not
care.
The negative ones
exactly.
at all.
By the way, I'm not perfect, as you will see throughout this next however many minutes that we're together today. There's going to be some things that are going to go wrong. So that's what I'm saying. If you see something that you think could be better, or you've got an idea for a great thing to do, let us know so we can carry on and possibly add it into the program. Also want to tell you a little bit about who I am as a person. I told you what I wanted to do all my life and do that working in the radio business or being a broadcaster. I did. I still love sports. Sports to me is one of my greatest adventures and loves of life. I will watch anything. My dad used to get mad at me when ESPN first started. He would come downstairs and I would be up, I think I was 14, 15 years old. They used to have chess matches on overnight. And I would watch chess matches on ESPN just because it was something sporting and something competitive. So I guess I'm addicted to the competitiveness of sports and the stories in sports as well. I'm also, and this is kind of, well, I don't know if this is a great thing to say, but I'm a TV junkie and a movie junkie. I watch TV constantly. My wife and I, it's our one great thing that we fall back on, and every night from about 6 to 9 o'clock before I go to bed. And yes, Connor knows I'm in bed by 9 o'clock because I've gotten old. But by 9 o'clock, 6 to 9 every night, we're watching either movies or TV shows. So, and the entertainment side of the world is very fascinating to me as well. And I've got some friends in entertainment. Hopefully, we'll have some of them on board for some interviews in the future as well. So that's pretty much about me. Connor, anything you want to say about you? Anything that you've accomplished in your life or want to accomplish?
For the most part, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be doing another podcast. Happy to be showing off a little bit of my design. I just want to relax. That's what I mostly want to do. Yeah. Those are my goals.
Yeah, well, good. I want to do that as well too, and hopefully someday that comes. Oh, also, I should probably tell you, if you look around the studio, you can see some of the things that are important to me, like the Lakers and Penn State football and hockey and the Dodgers, as you can see by the hat, and the Angels. I'm a Southern California guy, except for the Seattle Seahawks. I'm a enormous Seattle Seahawks football fan as well too. Well, hey. As a matter of fact, I am drinking out of my Seattle Seahawks cup right now. A little bit of glare on it, but this is a Seahawks cup. It's one of those hologram cups.
You got your pendant behind you as well. On the billboard.
And there's a pendant behind me. There it is. Yeah, there you go. So Seattle Seahawks pendant, but those are the teams that I root for. And yeah, I'm a little biased, and I will probably be biased in my podcast, but I'll try to be as even keel as possible when talking about sports. This show will not have any politics or social stuff in it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know that really bums you. Just because I want this to be kind of a way to alleviate those pressures that are hitting us daily in the world out there. It could be your job's crappy, could be the politics thing is bringing you down, could be out of fight with a sibling or your wife. This is just hopefully a way you can get away for a little bit and kind of get reinvigorated, and have some fun. So we want to have some fun. That's the key. So I guess we should just get started on what we're going to do. And the first thing we're going to do is a little area that we like to call Real Talk, REEL Talk, and we're going to talk about something today in the world of entertainment. So Connor, let's go. Hi. Nice little segue there. Beauty. Oh, look at Connor up there next to another one of my favorite things on earth, Spider-Man. I'm a Marvel nerd as well too, so we'll probably bring in some of that. So the first entertainment section that we're going to talk about is a movie that was from 1976 and was a very big part of my life. It was directed by Michael Ritchie, who also directed Fletch, starring Chevy Chase, that some of you older folks may have seen. Connor, have you ever seen Fletch?
I have not seen Fletch, actually, no.
They redid it with John Hamm. Well, didn't redo the actual Fletch, but John Hamm's in a new Fletch movie, which actually was quite good. But he also directed Wildcats and Cool Runnings, which were a couple of other sports movies. Cool Runnings was about the Jamaican bobsled team starring John Candy, and if you haven't seen that, I'd suggest you see that as well. That's another just fun movie. But it was written by Bill Lancaster. And Bill Lancaster was the son of a famous actor, Burt Lancaster. And for this screenplay, Bill Lancaster received a WGA award for Best Comedy Screenplay, a Writers Guild of America award. So this movie actually is an award-winning movie. And I mentioned Burt Lancaster. If you watch sports movies, Burt Lancaster was Moonlight Graham in the Field of Dreams movie. That was Burt Lancaster. So if you've seen that movie and you didn't know who Burt Lancaster was, now you know who Burt Lancaster was. But if you're also a film fan at all, you know who Burt Lancaster was. This movie, back in 1976, was made for about $9 million, not a ton of money. Also filmed right here in Southern California, Connor.
Oh, really?
Filmed in Chatsworth, California. Mostly filmed in Chatsworth.
I don't even know where Chatsworth is.
But it's an LA suburb.
Got you.
But it was, and I'll probably get somebody saying, no, but that's what I think it is. So that's what it's going to be. But it was filmed mostly in Chatsworth. And a lot of, as you're going to see, child actors. It's also highly regarded by a lot of people. It's got a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a very high score. And that's with a lot of people that have already, a lot of critics, that have graded it. So to be at 97% this far along in its life is pretty exceptional. And some other directors say this is one of their favorite movies of all time. This one kind of caught me off guard. This is one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite movies of all time.
Really?
This movie is so un-Tarantino-like, I guess, when you think of Quentin Tarantino movies.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, but this is one of his favorite movies of all time. Also, Kevin Smith, the director of The Clerks and Mallrats and all that stuff. This is one of his favorite movies. And the late great actor Philip Seymour Hoffman love this movie as well. They have all said this is one of their absolute favorite movies. And the first time I saw it was in 1976, living in Spokane, Washington, as I would have been a 12-year-old boy, which is the ages of these Little League kids right here in this movie. And because of that, there was quite a connection. This movie got everything perfect. And as a 12-year-old kid watching this, you're thinking, man, I want to be so-and-so, or I could do this, I could do that. I was playing Little League Baseball, of course, but went to see this movie with my grandma, my Nana, at the movie theater in Spokane, Washington when I was 12 years old. And I think she enjoyed it just as much as my brother and sister who were along for the ride enjoyed it as well. She laughed so hard she was crying in the movie theater. She couldn't believe that children could have such foul mouths. So that was her biggest takeaway from the movie. And yeah, this movie, they've got some foul mouths.
Yeah, so did Nana, by the way.
Yeah, so did, absolutely. Absolutely. But this movie is one of those movies also, you hear it said all the time, I don't know if this movie could be made nowadays. And I don't know if this movie could be made nowadays. There's a lot of unpolitically correct stuff that happens in this movie and language. As a matter of fact, one of the cuts that we're going to show you, there is one of those politically incorrect things in there, but we're going to let it roll, just the one of them, because I think it adds to the effect of what that clip means. So, I guess without any further ado, let's check out the first clip from Bad News Bears. This is going to be Meet the Team. It's not this one, Connor. It's the Meet the Team one. There it is. So let's meet the team. You're going to meet the team.
When I say your name, step forward and tell me what position you want to play. Rudy Stein.
Pitcher. Can I play pitcher?
Sure. Reggie Tower.
My father said for me to play in the
You wear
Mr.
glasses?
Buttermaker, but I'm on your
Positive
team. Yes, glasses. You're really pitching on him.
The great, if you watch this, the great thing is the way that they've got the way the language is and the way they're talking in this movie. They're all talking at once, but it doesn't seem insane. And it seems actually like Walter Matthau is listening to every single one of them and trying to respond to every single one of them. Matthau, by the way, is great in this. He was nominated for a BAFTA award for this role, which is basically the English Oscars. And he is fantastic in this role. I couldn't see anybody else in this role. As we go along, there's some other roles. There was especially another main role that was almost cast differently, but it ended up perfect, and it wouldn't have worked any other way too. But it's just great the way Matthau talks, and if you listen, it's almost like he's listening to every single one of them at once, and he's reacting to them.
My father said for me to play in the Mr. Buttermaker. But I'm on your team. Yes, glasses. You're really pitching on him. Playing baseball for the Tower. My dad's been a Yankee fan all his life, and he never heard no Buttermaker who ever played for the Yankees.
No, that was just great. He really is.
I don't know who the hell you are, but sit down and shut up. You can play second or third, whatever you want. Forget about the glasses. All right, guys, let's get one thing straight. It's true I was a heck of a ball player when I played, but I never pitched for the Yankees. As a matter of fact,
you never played in the major leagues, but you did pitch for Phoenix in the minors. In 1951, you won 9 games, lost 6,
This
had
would have been
170
me.
strikeouts, and had
This
an
would have been
ERA
me.
of
100% would
2.86.
have been you.
good work, kid. Ahmad Abdul Rahim.
Ahmad Abdul Rahim, yeah.
What position you want to play?
I want to switch it like my big brothers, and I want to play where Hank Aaron played.
Right field. Aaron played right field.
In right field.
He also played quite a few games
He
on
has better
second base,
style than you
too.
do,
The
though.
second base
Mike
too.
Engelberg.
My dad thinks I should try out
He
for
looks like the
catcher.
lead singer of Fall Out Boy.
He can play third and short at the same time.
Keep it up, Whitewood, if you want to get comfortable.
Shut up, Tubbs.
Timmy Lupus. All right. Timmy Lupus.
Lupus.
Bro, does that booger-eating spaz make me want to puke?
There's always a
What do you
Tanner.
want to play, Lupus?
Lupus.
He's shy, Coach.
Shy my butt, he's an idiot.
Shut up, Tanner. He's just kind of quiet.
I was about to say that Timmy and I could do a fine job of showing right field.
All right, let's not talk anymore about it. Everybody out on the field and take any position you want.
So Matthau, Coach Buttermaker, was had to coach this team. It was an agreement that he had. So he had to coach this team, and nobody was really happy with him because, as you can see, he's a little bit different and obnoxious. I mean, he had a Budweiser open in the dugout. Now look, I was playing Little League Baseball at this time, and maybe it's just me, but I don't remember any coaches boozing it up during Little League practice. So this is a reason that it's a little bit different, and that woman was shaking her head, and she's a part of the movie as well because, of course, the Bad News Bears are the team that everybody hates because of who they are all the way through this. Next, Connor, why don't we check out What a Mess? This is just kind of going into a little bit more about how bad of a drunk his drinking was.
Ted Williams.
Screwball. I had a mother of a screwball.
He means Ted Williams is a major leaguer. You told us yourself you never got past the minors.
It was spring training, Vero Beach, Florida. Struck him out a couple of times.
You're not supposed to have open liquor in the car. It's against the law.
So is murder, Engelberg. Now put that back before you get me into real trouble.
If you're so great, how come
This
you
looks
never made
safe.
it to the major leagues?
Contract
Mission
disputes.
Convertible.
When are we going to get our
With a
uniform?
broken windshield and sitting on the back.
My hat fell in.
I'm not
So-
going to say that I haven't done that, but it was illegal when I was
Exactly.
Back to me, Toby.
Still not enough
So,
suction.
Well,
Yeah,
just
pause it
move
here a
it back and
sec,
forth. It'll
Connor.
come.
So Matthau's character in this is as you can tell, he's a pool cleaner. So what does he do since he's got the kids now that pretty much have to hang out with him? Makes him do all the work cleaning the pool. So it's perfect.
Can we go swimming?
No, don't jump in, Engelberg. You'll flood the valley. How's it going, Ogilvy?
Well, there's not enough pressure, but I'm adjusting the intake valve now.
You got a hell of a future in pools,
Where
kid.
you been, you crud? It's been an hour.
Where have I been? I've been out getting what you little creeps have been bitching for, uniforms.
Oh,
By the
Best
way,
pitch I ever taught her was the
his
curveball.
name is Morris Buttermaker, but they never say Morris in the movie. But it is in the script.
They say Morris Buttermaker in the remake, right?
In the remake, they do, which,
With
by
Billy
the way,
Bob Thornton.
is a crap movie. But that's a totally. We'll get into that some other time. But yeah, that's a bad movie.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid. I enjoyed it as a kid, but I haven't seen
Did
it
you?
since I was a kid. Yeah.
I guess as a kid you'd probably like it, but you know when they do remakes of anything,
Well, yeah.
when it's a classic, it's really hard. And
Well,
that
it's not
was
as good as the original. Even
Yeah.
I even know that, and I wasn't around for the
and
original.
that one missed the boat pretty good. I love the fact here too. He's got the kids mixing his drinks.
Yep.
How could you teach a 9-year-old girl to throw a curveball?
Not only a curveball, but the most tantalizing.
It's Cooper when me and Eric used to stream. We used to do videos online,
Right.
And we'd have Cooper, my little brother, bring us drinks.
There you go. Perfect.
you ever saw in your life. I mean, this thing was a thing of beauty. Came up to the plate and disappeared. I mean, it was like a ball of melted ice cream.
Here.
Thank you, Lupus.
Lupus.
I can never get the name right. Hey, pause it a sec because I want to point something else out. So, you see smoking a cigar. Throughout the whole movie, not only is he drinking all the time, but in the dugouts around the kids and with everybody, he's smoking like Tiparillos or Swisher Sweets. He smokes different ones all throughout the movie, just like the beers that he's drinking, which you'll notice and we'll talk about in a little bit as well, too. But it's pretty funny.
That's superb. Thank you very much.
Tell us about the time you struck out Ted Williams again.
Ted Williams, 1947.
His go-to
Vero Beach,
story is Ted
Florida,
Williams.
Spring training, around March 15th. Score was tied 0-0. It was at top of the ninth. No,
See,
it was
notice the
bottom
Miller
of the
beer.
ninth.
Remember earlier
Bases were loaded.
had Budweiser?
There was old Ted coming up to the plate, swinging a menacing bat. Strike one.
Yeah, I think he'd probably get kicked out of the league.
See, when I was a kid, I would have been like, "Do I get to go home now?"
Exactly.
Come on.
My
let's keep-
PS2's waiting
Watch
for me.
Tanner.
I think he's dead.
He's not dead. He's drunk.
Look at him.
Had enough beer. What a mess.
A lot of smoking, too.
Listen. What do we do? Nothing. He ain't good to a sober either.
Opening day's tomorrow. We don't know what the batting order is. We don't even have our position set or anything.
All we got is a karaoke for a manager.
Karaoke for a manager. Oh, so yeah. So you kind of get an idea of the kids on the team and what they're all about. But I want to play another thing that's basically more about him and his drinking. It's it's buttermilk as an alcoholic. Just because I want you to notice all the different types of drinks. There's some things that you've seen already in this clip, but then there's some other things that you'll see that just look at the different beers.
Expected to hit 78, and
by the way, this is
LA,
a
they're
professional
expecting
move right here. Watch this. You're a good alcoholic. You know what you're doing if you do this.
Hey, come on. Push me. You're right under it.
17.
You could hear it, dude. That beer's been sitting. It was all foam that he poured out. That's also another alcoholic thing. I could hear that.
Look at that. There we go. Perfect. A little more bang for your buck.
Menacing bat.
So again, this is that same scene from before. And if you want to fast forward it or move it forward a little if you can, Connor, you can. If not, we'll watch it again.
Ready or something, and maybe to a bat an A.
Budweiser.
I think I better get in a relief pitch.
Come on, they're doing terrible. Put us back in.
Don't worry about it. What's the matter, Ogilvy? The plate is
In the
over
on
there.
deck circle of the Coors.
Reggie.
Lucky Loggers to the kids.
Why don't we celebrate?
By the
Because
way,
you should be damn proud of yourself.
I'll drink to that.
Lucky Lager is the beer cap. Had a rebus in it, so a puzzle that you had to solve. All the kids, that's ginger ale in their bottles. So don't worry. they didn't actually let the 11 and 12 and 13-year-old kids in the movie drink.
But yeah, I bet a couple of them brought their own.
Yeah, they could have. But that was kind of about the drinking and what Buttermaker is. Now I want to get in depth in a few more of the kids that were on the team. And the breakout star for most kids back in the day when this movie came through, and I still talk about this guy with my friends all the time. We'll call each other Kelly Leaks if something makes sense to be called a Kelly Leak, is Kelly Leak. So play the Kelly Leak clip and let's meet Kelly Leak.
Let's look alive.
Harley Davidson, bell bottoms, tank top, and a heater. At 12.
Hey, punk. I thought I told you to quit hanging around.
12 years old. Perfect. Do you know many 12-year-olds like that, Connor?
Who is that
Yes.
kid anyway?
Okay.
No, well, not now. I don't know any 12-year-olds right now.
But
That'd
you
be
don't
weird.
understand. That's Kelly Leak. You guys talking about Kelly Leak?
Yeah.
That dude is a bad mother. He's talking about a loan shark. I borrowed a nickel from him last week. He said if I didn't give him a dime by Friday, he'd break my arm.
Es un bandido. I don't know what he's talking about.
Pause it for a sec, Connor. So the Esu Bandito. So there's two brothers, Mexican brothers in this movie. And they supposedly don't speak any English. You know, so the whole movie, they speak in little tiny bits of Spanish. Well, the two brothers were actually from the LA area and didn't speak any Spanish whatsoever. So they had to learn all the little parts of Spanish for this movie. So just another little tidbit for you.
I screw around, you guys. If the guy can play ball, he can play ball. I mean, let's get him on the team.
Air hockey. He's holding court with men and 16-year-olds.
Want to go again? Anybody else?
Hey, pause it right here. Pause it right here for a sec, Connor. This is one of my favorite scenes. Watch how cool. I mean, Kelly Leak is the epitome of 12-year-old badassery. He goes and checks out this chick, and he just thinks he is so bad. Watch this. Go ahead.
Saw you throw the ball the other day.
She's like a foot taller than
Yeah.
So.
Out with the lung dart.
You could use a good outfielder on our team.
Oh, you call what you got a team?
The necklace is nice.
What you got against baseball anyway?
Well, the baseball you guys play is for faggots and old farts who don't
That
have
was the
anything better to
unpolitically
do.
correct part I was telling everybody was coming.
You
So.
must like those kind of guys. Sure do hang out on the field often enough.
There's nice ass at the field, that's why I hate it.
Nice ass at the field.
I hear you like to gamble.
We go $1 a game here.
Hey, pause it for a sec, Connor.
I don't want to.
So that's Tatum O'Neal. Her father was another great actor in the 60s and 70s, Ryan O'Neal. And she got this role because Jodie Foster, another famous actress, sorry about banging the microphone and making noise for everybody, but Jodie Foster, one of the other famous actresses from that time, was unavailable for this movie because she was filming Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro. Tatum O'Neal also really, really took this role to heart. She wanted to not look like a girl throwing the baseball, was what she said. She, for 3 straight months, took pitching lessons and learned to pitch so that she would look good in this movie throwing the baseball. And she ended up doing, I don't think we have any in the clips in here actually pitching, but she ended up doing a really, really good job on it. So go ahead, Connor.
Like the money. If I win, you play baseball for Bears.
And if I win,
Name it.
Pause it again, Connor, because I forgot something. Besides being a great actress back in the day, She was one of my crushes. At that age, when you're 12 years old, she was great. She was something else. There were also other two. I talked about the Jodie Foster, but there are other two actresses from back in the day. Another one was another one of my crushes that I actually had a picture of her that I cut out a magazine on my wall when I was like 13. Christy McNichol. You probably don't know her, but if anybody's above 35, you may know Christy McNichol. But she was also up for this role, but ultimately didn't get it. And Sarah Jessica Parker, for you Sex and the City fans, is another one. So go ahead, Connor. Pounding the beers, waiting to pick her up.
Well, how'd it go?
I lost.
What? I thought you said you were supposed to be so good at those games. No, that's the last time I ever listened to you.
8 o'clock Friday night.
What's that?
Nothing.
What's 8 o'clock Friday night?
I lost that game, so I gotta go to the Rolling Stone concert with the creep.
That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of. 11-year-old girls don't go out on dates.
Of course they do. Where you been?
Well, they don't go out with people like that.
11-year-old girls
Boy,
still
you
don't
take
go
the
on
cake.
dates.
First you blow the game, then you get
Exactly.
roped into a date with an ex-con.
You're like a chimney. I'm sick of it. Start the car and let's go.
Probably lost on purpose. You probably like the little baboon.
Blow it out your bunghole.
Blow it out your bunghole.
What if he tries something,
I'll handle it.
Rolling Stones, 11 years old?
The kids were all really good in this. If you haven't seen it,
It's a great movie.
again, I'm going to say watch it. The kids were fantastic, and she did a great job. And, of course, as I said, Mathau did an unbelievable job on that, too. I want to show you how a couple of the characters in this movie started to change. So this is Sticking Up for Lupus, Connor. So Tanner is the neighborhood. Pause it for a sec before you get it rolling. Tanner, on the left side there, you heard him. He's a little bit out there. There's a scene in the movie where he's beat to shreds coming to a game. I'm not going to show the clip, but Mathau asks,
clip,
what happened to him? And he said he got in a fight at school. And Mathau said, well, who'd he fight? And the team said the whole 7th grade. That's Tanner. Tanner's the kid that he's also tripping people running around the bases. And he also hates the kid sitting next to him, Lupus. He's disgusted by Lupus. But this kind of shows how this movie, this is one of the clips I'm going to show, has a lot of heart. This is where that relationship started to turn. Go ahead, Connor. I love it. Kids just running rampant, by the way.
Yep.
Nobody around.
Lupus, could you go somewhere else while I'm eating? You make me sick.
Poor Lupus.
Hey, Lupus, man, how's it going?
Give it.
What do you need it for? You hardly ever play anyway.
Sit
down. We was only kidding anyways. Did you see how that looks neat, man? Hey, if we had to do that to all the bears, we might play better.
Hey, Joey, you hungry? You want my burrito?
I wouldn't eat your burrito if you paid
Pause
me.
it, Connor.
Go on.
So the kid Joey, another thing, just for all my old TV fans and people my age or a little bit younger even, that's Joey. He starred in a TV show. His name's Brandon Cruz. He was in a band. I believe he had a punk band at one time, so that's pretty cool. And then he also, when he was a little kid, younger than this, he starred in a TV show that was one of my favorite TV shows of all time called Courtship of Eddie's Father with Bill Bixby, who Connor later turned into the Incredible Hulk. But It was a show about a father raising a son by himself, and it was back in the late 60s, early 70s. And the thing I remember most about that TV show was the song. People, let me tell you about my best
okay.
friend.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a one-boy cuddly toy. All right, enough's enough. Go ahead, Connor. Back onto this.
Take it. It's the best way to eat it. Little.
Tanner would fight anybody at any time. But this also shows, that Tanner may be the greatest a-hole good guy in movie history.
You owe me 30 cents for that burrito.
Lupus.
Put you in the mouth. Little shit. Well, that's one bird down and 11 to go, but come to think of it, they ain't worth it.
Never happened to me.
No?
Yeah, it happened once.
Nobody ever stuck up for me before.
You got trash
Well,
canned?
Lucas, if you
Yeah.
wiped your nose once in a while, people wouldn't give you so much crowd all the time.
And it's when I was older in Utah.
It was when you were older.
We lived in Utah. You were alive when I got trash canned.
What? You're a grown-ass man?
Well, when I tell you trash canned me, you'll probably say okay. And you'll get it. Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz.
Oh. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was covering practice, and we were farting around. He was always a really good guy to me, and he picked me up and he trash canned me and walked away and laughed.
Well, he's like twice your size.
And it was hard to get out, just like there, because and it was the same type of trash can, so I ended up just tipping myself over, and I had to brace my fall. But anyway, Karl Malone, I got trash canned. So, there's one other clip that I want to play, and this shows, like I said, Walter Matthau was fantastic in this movie. And this part right here shows how good he was, if you ask me, as well as what a great role this was. As a coach and a mentor, you think he's a drunk, you think he's an idiot, you think all this stuff, but when you see this clip, I think you're going to see what I'm talking about. It's 42 errors, Connor, is the next clip. But he's so good in this. It was the one you had originally loaded up. There you go.
Hey, how come you're not wearing your clothes?
Don't deserve to wear no uniform. You get away from here, Buttermaker.
Say you're a tree. Anybody can climb up here.
Just leave me alone.
Keeping your family waiting,
Can't face it.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Ears, that's why. Easy fly balls.
There's nothing easy about those fly balls, man. They were tough chances. The sun was
He's
in your
great,
eyes.
man.
Don't give me your hunky bullshit, Buttermaker. I know they were easy.
Let's not bring race into this, man. We got enough problems as it is. Anyway, your brothers will understand.
No, they won't. They would never make flubs like that. They were all big athletes. When they were my age, they were captains of all their teams and great players. But I'm not. I'm lousy at football, lousy at basketball, and I'm lousy at baseball.
Pause it for a
I'm
sec,
quitting
Connor.
the whole damn...
So, the kid in this, Ahmad, as Walter Matthau calls him, his name was Aaron Blunt, and he absolutely hated baseball, hated sports, didn't want anything to do with them, but learned how to play baseball for this movie during the movie, basically, and he does all right. But this is just I just wanted to throw that in there because I wanted to let you guys know that.
Well, luckily the kids didn't have to be good at baseball because that's kind of the point of the movie.
Exactly. Well, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Thank God Hank Aaron didn't act like this.
This is great.
What?
Don't give me that what. You know what I'm talking about.
What you talking about?
The 42 errors.
42 arrows.
Come off it, will you, man? Stop pulling my leg. You know what I'm talking about. You know all about Hank Aaron. His first year in Sandlot Ball, he committed 42 errors. He was 9 years old. Broke his little heart. He damn near quit. Thank God for us he didn't. There'd be no great old number 44.
Buttermaker, you're so full of...
It's common knowledge. For crying out loud, ask Ogilvy. I'm surprised you didn't know that. He's your favorite player, too. Wow. ruins my plans. I was thinking right around the third or fourth game you'd be switch hitting. I figured with your speed, right side of the plate, those few extra steps you get, you'd be a tough out. You know, bunts, things like that.
I'm kind of fast, huh?
You're very fast.
That's awesome. That's just that really is a great moment, and when it reminds me a lot of I know this isn't the same and this isn't as good, though I loved it, in Ted Lasso. If you've watched Ted Lasso, the whole dart scene, that just kind of reminds me of the dart scene. It kind of gets me a little bit in the feels, to be honest with you, because it's acted so well, and just the way he turns that around and makes that kid so happy, and that kid knows that he's going to be something and he can be something, and somebody sees something in him. I know that's going way deep, but I really get that out of that scene. But I would be remiss if I didn't tell a little story about me that was almost like AMAD. And Connor, I don't know if you've ever heard this story, so this may be a fun one for you. When I was the exact same age, it was actually in Spokane, Washington, playing Little League Baseball. I was a pitcher, and I thought I was a pretty good little athlete, and I thought I was a pretty good little pitcher. We had a scrimmage. So I was in 5th grade. We had a scrimmage against 7th graders. And the scrimmage was at the school, the grade school. And there was a little baseball field at the grade school. And there was a fence beyond. And nobody had ever hit a ball over the fence. And over the fence was one of the main streets in Spokane, Washington. So in this scrimmage, Connor, I'm the starting pitcher, a 5th grader against 7th graders. And I feel like I'm Kelly Leak, probably, because I'd imagine I'd seen the movie. But the first guy I faced, the first kid I faced, hit the ball into the street. So, you know, that was a kind of a rude awakening. And the worst thing about it is he's running around the bases, and all the kids in the dugout are climbing out and yelling, "Nobody's ever hit it over there before. Nobody's hit it in the street before." And the kids running around the bases laughing. And I thought, oh, well, this kind of sucks, but I'll get the next guy. So the very next guy, 2 pitches in, hits the ball almost the exact same spot, and they go crazy. So I throw down my glove and run into the woods past right field. My dad came out to get me as I was sitting out on a rock in the middle of the fields, very dense forest area up there in Spokane, Washington at the time, and kind of gave me almost the same type of speech, but in Connor knows him as Bampa, who is my dad, Larry. Larry's way was a little bit rougher. "You candy ass, knock it off. Get out there. You're not going to sit out here and cry on a rock because somebody hit 2 home runs off you. Get out there and do, you know, what you can do." I did go back. They had already replaced me at pitcher. I did get to hit, and I got a base hit. Made me feel better. But that remind me of that. Yeah, 3 pitches, 2 home runs to a place nobody's ever hit it before here. So that made me feel like crap. So I abandoned everything and ran out to the woods. So that's pretty much it on the on this film. I don't want to get into any more clips or anything, but it's really one of my favorites. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. There's a couple more things about the film. There were 2 sequels: Bad News Bears and Breaking Training, which was okay, and then Bad News Bears Go to Japan, which Jackie Earle Haley, who's in this movie, who's come on, help me out. Tough kid. All of a sudden, I'm having a brain fart. Anyway,
Kelly?
Yes, thank you. God almighty, we've been talking about him all day. But Jackie Earle Haley was in all 3 of the films. He says the last one is the worst movie ever made, and he was in it.
Yeah.
And it is bad. So don't watch the 3rd one. The 2nd one's okay.
What was the 2nd one called again?
Breaking Training. They go to Houston and play in the Astrodome.
And the 3rd one was Japan?
Go to Japan.
I liked the Japan one, but again, I was a kid.
Yeah, it's not good, though. By the way, Jackie Earle Haley also was nominated for an Oscar back in, I believe, 2021. He plays a sexual predator in a movie, but he was, and Connor, you had said when were talking about the movie before we came and started doing this, how ugly a kid that guy is.
Yeah, well, other than his eyes.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, he is even uglier as an adult. If you get a chance, look him up. You'll see what I'm talking about. But Oscar-nominated Jackie Earle Haley. So, great movie. I suggest you go out and check it out if you've never seen it. You can rent it. I believe it's on Prime Video or find it streaming somewhere, I'm sure. If you have seen it, it's been a long time, check it out because I think you'll really enjoy it. It really does hold up. I got to give some thanks to somebody that helped me with a lot of the back on this story and a lot of the back on Bad News Bears, my good friend Kevin Cassidy. Kevin, thank you for doing all the work on this. I really appreciate it. I hope I did it justice. Like I said, yeah, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do it justice, so I hope I did. But thanks again, buddy. So we did some entertainment, right, Connor?
Yep.
Now I think we should get into a little bit of the sports.
Here we go.
And there's Connor up in the scoreboard, Chris Herbst's field. If that field looks really familiar to you, maybe it is. I don't want to say anything because of trademark stuff. But it's definitely familiar to me. But what we're going to be doing on the sideline is we're going to be kind of doing a quick little review of stuff that happened in the previous week, and then kind of looking ahead to the week coming up in sports. So let's start off with something that happened in a college football game last week that was kind of goofy. There was no penalty called on this play. Just play it, Connor, and everybody can see what we're talking about.
Getting the right people on the field.
Playing tempo, across the middle, wide open. That's the tight end Moore.
Okay.
Into Weber State
play it again, Connor. See if they got this.
Getting the right people on the field.
Playing tempo, across the middle, wide open. That's the tight end Moore.
Yes. Number 13, who has his hands up like going, I don't know. Go back a little bit, Connor, and show him with his hands up.
Getting the right people.
Weber State territory.
He came off the sidelines to make that tackle.
Weber State territory.
Play it one more time, Connor, so they can see him actually running from the sidelines. There was no penalty.
Playing tempo, across the middle, wide open. That's the tight end.
So this guy right here.
Yeah. Just came running on the sidelines, decided to make the tackle.
Across the middle, wide open. That's the tight end Moore.
So
right off the sidelines.
Playing tempo, across the middle, wide open. That's the tight.
He was, of course, supposed to be in the formation. He wasn't, and then he just late and he ran in, but can't do that. But wasn't caught. That's fine.
Yeah.
So it reminded me a bunch of another one. It's the 60th anniversary. This is actually the 70th anniversary of this, and this was done during the Cotton Bowl. And it's
today in 1954, the most famous play in college football history occurred. The Owls were rolling over the Tide. Magel had scored on a 79-yard run. The frustration level was growing on the Alabama bench, and a fullback named Tommy Lewis finally had all he could stand. As Magel broke down the field for another long run, Lewis suddenly jumped up from the Bama bench and made a picture-perfect tackle. Then he retreated back to the bench and became the first player in the history of the Cotton Bowl.
Now that's coming off the bench without a helmet, getting caught up.
Magel was awarded a 95-yard touchdown.
Watch
he finished with 265 yards rushing. The Owls were rolling over the Tide. Magel had scored on a 79-yard run.
So what I love about it too is when he comes off the bench, when he goes back to the bench, Connor, when he is trying to hide, you talk about getting just caught up in emotion. He couldn't handle himself. He had to do this. Great block there, by the way. See that block? He was gone.
There he comes.
But watch as he gets back to the bench. Yeah, this block is a beauty. Nowadays, it would be called a blindside, probably. Yeah, this would probably be a penalty now. Look at this. Oh, and low. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Cleared the way. And they didn't call a penalty, apparently, but here comes Lewis.
Without a helmet, too. How dangerous.
I know.
man running full speed at you, yeah, with pads.
I just the official, and I don't think the official really knows what's going on. Look at he's saying, "Wait a minute,"
he's confused. He's pointing at him. He's like, "What the hell?"
And the guy, look at the Rice cheerleader or whatever it is over there.
He sits down. He tries to hide.
Yeah. This right here, he's so embarrassed. And then after this, when he puts his hand on his forehead, it's like, "What did I just do? Oh God, what did I do?" Pause it for a second, Connor. This right here is perfect. Look how cool everybody used to be going to games. You see old films of baseball too.
It was a formal event, like getting on an airplane when airplanes were first a thing.
They're all the men wearing their coats and ties and hats, and all the women their earrings and their overcoats and just all that. It's the same.
Now it's body paint and t-shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
It's better.
And
I think it's better now.
That one woman that's looking at us from behind the guy in the front with the glasses, yeah, she's frightening.
Yeah.
That's kind of a frightening look. Anyway, I just I saw that when this was going and thought it was cool. Also, the Cotton Bowl. At the time, it was huge. Now we have all the playoffs and everything. And again, I'm probably speaking to a lot of people that already know this, but for some of the younger folks, it was huge. The Rose Bowl and the Cotton Bowl were the two biggest bowl games. So this happened in a game on national TV. That was a big deal that he came off the bench to do that. So, dude still had 265 yards rushing in that game too, which is, I think, still a Cotton Bowl record. So, yeah, I just wanted to go over that. It happened this week in that Washington game, so I thought it just, as soon as I saw it, it triggered me back to finding that old clip and doing that. Some other things that happened this week. Shohei Ohtani they call him the unicorn, and there's reasons for it. He, to me, is the most amazing baseball player I've ever seen, and I've been around, watching baseball, as I said, hardcore since I can remember, or listening with Vince Scully on my transistor under my pillow. But this guy Shohei is unlike anything I've ever seen before. And you've probably heard that from a lot of other people too. The unicorn. Well, he is now only the 6th player in Major League Baseball to be in the 40-40 club, which is 40 home runs and 40 steals. But they're saying he's got a legitimate chance to be 50-50, and he does. He's got about 30 games left, and he's at, I believe, 46 and, 44 home runs, 46 stolen bases, hitting .290, and also leads the league with 99 runs scored. I mean, this guy is incredible. So I just wanted to play his 44th, 45th, and 46th steals came in one game last week against the Diamondbacks.
And he'll go in standing up. Didn't offer, says Quinn Walcott. Stolen base 44 for Ohtani. Let's get through this year first. Here's the 1-0 to Betts. And there goes Shohei. ADC to throw. And Ohtani sticks the foot in there. Stolen base number 45 on the year, on his way to a 50-50 season.
He's just a freak of nature. Big dude. Obviously tremendous.
Look how long he is when he slides.
And there he goes again.
That's one of the longest slides I've ever seen.
He's just, he's
not in terms of distance, in terms of how long his body gets.
Yeah, absolutely. He's 6'4", 210 pounds too.
Well, that helps.
And the other thing about this is he's a great pitcher. He had that Tommy John surgery again, so it was his second Tommy John surgery. So now he's not pitching this year, but they expect him to be fully back on the mound at full strength next year. So not only will he be doing this, he'll be hitting as well, just like he did with the Angels for the 6 years he was there. And the Angels, that's another really sad topic. That's a bad organization there. But Shohei, just real quick, leads the National League in on-base plus slugging percentage, tied for 6th in batting average, 1st in home runs, 2nd in RBI, only one back. And by the way, I say RBI, not RBIs, because it's runs batted in, not run batted ins. So it's 2nd in RBI. Thank you. 1st in runs, 3rd in hits, 4th in triples, 3rd in walks, and 2nd in the league in stolen bases. That's all in the National League. This guy is an absolute machine. There's nobody like him. But I think somebody may be having just as good a season, if not better season than him, and that's Aaron Judge. Now, I'm a Dodger fan. I can't like the Yankees. I have to hate the Yankees, and I do, the bottom of my soul. But man, there's certain guys, no matter where they are or who they are, that you got to respect, and Aaron Judge is one of them. Shohei, of course, the other. But Aaron Judge is having that kind of year again. Last year he was hurt for a bit of the year. The year before, though, he had an amazing year, and now he is all the way back. He's got 51 home runs. 2 years ago, he had 62, which is an American League record, and it basically would be a baseball record if not for the steroid era with Sosa, McGuire, and Bonds. He would hold the single-season home run record. He's on track to do it again this year, which is just absolutely amazing. He hit his 51st home run just last week. And go ahead and rip that, Connor, and let him play the Judge.
High fly ball, deep right field. Ward back, turning, looking. See ya! Number 51, Aaron Judge, a 3.
He is, we were talking about Shohei, 6'4", 210. Aaron Judge, how tall do you think he is? You don't know much about baseball right now in these days.
No, modern baseball, I'm pretty lost. He looks maybe, I would say he's 6 foot.
Okay.
Around 6 foot.
Aaron Judge is 6'7", 285 pounds.
I'm going to get flamed for not.
It's all right. It's okay. That's why I prefaced it. Connor hasn't. Yeah. He's got other interests, and I get it, man. Well, he's doing this producing of all this stuff. There you go. But 6'7", 285. He is an absolute monster and great with kids. Just seems to be a fantastic human being and hits moonshots. That ball right there was up in the air for about 3.5 minutes before it came down. It wasn't one of his monster balls that went forever, but it went forever up and came down. Excuse me. No mute buttons on the podcast yet. Last year, like I said, he was hurt and he still hit 37 home runs playing 50 less games. So he's absolutely amazing. I got to respect him. Hate the Yankees still, but will always be a fan of Aaron Judge. So there you go. It's a little bit of the week in review, talking about those two baseball players and the tackles from the sidelines. Now I just kind of want to go into a little bit of a preview. The NFL season is starting. As a matter of fact, while we're up here doing this podcast, the game has started downstairs, the Thursday night game. Nope. So there's a little in for you folks.
Are you itching to get down there?
Yeah. No. Yes. We do the podcast on Thursdays, on Fridays usually, but we did on Thursday tonight because I'm heading to Vegas for my fantasy football draft with the same guys that have done it for over 30 years. And it's a great 4-day weekend for all of us. I'm sure some of these guys are going to watch it and YTS. Yeah, I did an inside joke here, and it's going to stay inside. But what I want to get into is a little bit of the NFL, and I want to do a couple of predictions, I guess you'd call them, for the NFL. Most places you're going to hear, Super Bowl picks or picks of division winners or Rookie of the Year, MVP. I'm not doing that. My picks are going to be the two worst teams in the NFL this year. One of them is not really a stretch, and the other one is not really a stretch either. But I'm going to tell you, in my estimation, they are going to have the two worst records in football, and I don't think there's going to be a problem getting that low. So the first one is a franchise that had a lot of success for a long time just recently, and that's the New England Patriots. This is a crap team. Okay, they're going to be even worse. Last year, 4-13, lowest scoring team in football by far. I think they scored 236 points in their 17 games. They were absolutely terrible. And this is a team that was built on their defense for years and years and years, and their defense disappeared. And in the offseason, they got rid of maybe their best defensive player. So I think they're going to be worse defensively. I think they're going to be worse because they got a rookie coach. I think they're going to be worse because they have a lifetime backup. And this is no diss on Jacoby Brissett, but he's been a lifetime backup quarterback. Yes, they did draft a new quarterback because Mac Jones, who you're going to see here in a second, was so terribly pathetic. They gave him all the chances that they could, and he's now a Jaguar backing up Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. So I just real quick want to show you a little bit of the 2024 New England Patriots and what I base this on.
But can they punch it in here? Gonna try to tie this game. Pump fake. Jones thrown.
Attaboy, Mac. Float it in there.
Jalen Ramsey. Ramsey's got a lead blocker. Ramsey.
That's just a horrible pass.
Less than 40 seconds to go. Zappy with a fake.
You got him with the fake spike. And then throws into quad coverage.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Rodney Thomas. A 3rd and 6. And many of the 30-yard line. Jones up, hit by Anderson, intercepted on the ricochet.
That was kind of his fault, but he also got hit, but he was terrible. They turned the ball over so often last year.
Remaining 2nd and 12. Jones on the play fake.
just terrible.
Intercepted.
Colts again.
And returned.
3rd down and 4. Jones under pressure from
Back,
Simmons. Picked off.
Off the back
Simmons
foot.
was in the face of Mac Jones.
That is the picture perfect of how he threw the football all year last year. Their line was not good either last year. But he was constantly stepping back and throwing when he throws. Oh, here's some of their good defense. Nice tackle there. Nice tackle there. That's embarrassing.
4th and 11. Got to get to
See if he throws off his back foot this time.
Some guys inside.
Nah, he fired that one. This kind of sums this one right here kind of sums up their season. Excited, 1st and goal. Wow, this is great. On further review, he didn't drag his foot.
I'll take the 2nd foot's down.
I don't think so. That's what I was saying. They should have got a lot of empty formation.
Back foot?
Tire out the D-line.
No, stepped into it. Can't blame him as much. But if the receiver's running his route and he fires it to where he's supposed to fire it, we're okay.
Yeah, he lobbed it.
Yeah. And he eyeballed it the whole way.
2nd down and 8.
That one he fired.
Jones over the middle. Broken up.
That's good coverage. Can't be too bad at that. Unless he didn't lead him enough. I didn't see the...
So, Ryland from
chip shot.
35 will attempt to tie the game. Ryland's kick is no good. Wide to the left.
So their over-under this year is 4.5. They're going to win 3 games. Write that down. 3 games is my prediction. And they definitely aren't winning week 2 because the Seattle Seahawks are coming to visit. So just so you know, they're winning. They're not doing that. But like I said, that's a bad football team. So write them down for 3 wins. I know in Vegas and some other places they're saying 4.5. I've actually seen it over 5. So take the under, whatever it is on that team. The other one is the Denver Broncos. So Connor, growing up, is a big Bronco fan, and the past couple of years have been rough. And one of the reasons was Russell Wilson, who, if anybody that knows me knows, one of my all-time favorite football players, period. When he was a Seahawk those first 8 years, he was my favorite football player ever. Did things with that franchise that had never been done before. Was a great player. But then the last couple of years in Seattle, still had decent years, but there was rumblings in the locker room about what a phony he is and kind of what how elite he thinks he is. And then he started, of course, dating Sierra, the star, the singer, and then having kids, and then it just seemed to get even faker and faker. Then he went to the Broncos, and the first year with Denver, he was terrible. Maybe the worst quarterback in the league. The second year, which was last year, wasn't as bad, but he did get benched. So the Broncos have a new quarterback this year, and he's a rookie, first rookie captain since 1968 that the Denver Broncos have ever had. He's Bo Nix out of Oregon. Heck of a football player, but he's going to struggle there. They don't have a great offensive line. Their defense has gone to turd. They're going to be bad on both sides of the football, and I don't think Nix is going to end up playing every single game, because if he does, he'll get killed, and as a rookie, you don't want that. So play that clip of the of my boy Russell last year and some of his lowlights. Whoop.
That's right.
You hit the NFL.
So much he wants to say. Welcome everybody. I'm Percy Thompson.
In droves.
They've had enough. It's 9-9. They're like, the heck with it. I'm out.
Thank you guys. Broncos country.
God, he's such a dork.
Something was said. If Russell Wilson says something as he's coming off the field here, or Purcell is
As
just
I
going
said,
over to him and saying, hey,
rub
man,
people the wrong way. You think this guy's mad?
And his eyes were in the wrong spot, unfortunately.
Look at the mascot. Jerry Jeudy, great receiver. Not happy.
Wilson dancing out of the pocket and throws it away. And once again,
It's in the crowd.
it's raining down. Denver is not able to get it done.
Hey, they had only lost one game at this point.
Wilson throws off balance, picked off
What?
the 4-yard line. Rodney Thomas.
Russell Wilson is a talented quarterback. We know
What?
that. He looks left to
They're
Cortland
laughing
Sutton,
at him.
and then without even looking,
What?
throws the ball up into coverage.
Big six by Willie Gay.
That's part of the short quarterback narrative that's haunted him forever, because that definitely was part of it. That, and also not the loft he needed.
Wilson goes up top.
Oh, that's nice.
5-man.
5-man coverage. Half the defense is over there. Watch throw it up there.
Literally.
This one right across the middle to one of the greatest linebackers in the history of the game. Is Bobby Wagner, Exia. This one,
What the fuck?
I have
That's actually insane.
no idea. He looked like the intended receiver.
It's almost like he was trying to throw it away.
And wasn't strong enough.
Let's ride,
Well, that's right. Oh, you poor pathetic soul. Good luck, Pittsburgh. Way underthrown.
He's going to Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yikes.
And he's been named the starter there. So we'll see.
Wilson to the end zone, and it's intercepted by Gilmore.
In our two clips that we've shown, I think the Colts have 11 interceptions. Right?
Yeah.
Off of the Broncos and the Pats, they've got about 11 interceptions. Oh, it's so bad. I mean, seriously. Eat that or throw it out of bounds.
Let's ride.
Yeah, let's ride. Right out of town.
Oh, no. They dropped him. I mean, his eyes are to the left. It's a late, lazy throw.
This is, you know what? This is when he was throwing down his helmet. Was right here.
He's like, what?
Yeah, this is when he threw down his
doing?
helmet. Yeah.
Coverage. They got the look they wanted, and his eyes were in the wrong spot.
Because he's wide open.
Look at the mascot. The mascot's so upset, too.
Let's ride.
Oh, what a turd.
Oh, you tool. Anyway, so they're not going to be much better this year because Russell was bad last year. I don't think Bo Nix, as a rookie quarterback with that line, is going to make that much of a difference. And they're going to have to score a lot of points because their defense is just not good as well. So it's going to be interesting if you're a Bronco fan. 5.5 is what they're projected to win this year. That's the over-under in Vegas. I'm putting them right there with the Pats at 3. I think both those teams are going to win 3 games this year. So lock it in, put it down, call your bookies. I'm going to be in Vegas. I'm going to take care of both those this week as well. But yeah, I know that they're going 0-1 too, the Broncos for sure, because they open in Seattle. So Seattle gets the 2 worst teams back to back. So
you're happy.
If they are not 2-0 after the second week of this season, put it this way: the next podcast you see next week, if I'm not overjoyed and happy with the Seahawks win, we're going to have a really, really long season, and I might have to change them to one of those teams.
If they can't win one of those 2 games, if not both, they should just win both.
They should win both of them.
Yeah, so
they better win both of them.
If they lose even one of them, it's a bad look for the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's a bad look. Yeah. It's a bad start. They have a new coach, but their defense should be much better, and their schedule's not tough either, so they should be all right this year. Well, I don't have anything else right now, Connor. I'm ready to roll. I think it was great that everybody stuck with us, hopefully, all the way to the end. Remember, a couple of things. Subscribe. Please subscribe to the podcast. The more subscribers I get, the more people will see it, and then the more people that will come around, and the more stuff that will happen, the more stuff we'll be able to do on this as well.
Leave a like on the video, comment if you want to. It drives engagement. It helps with the algorithms, all the algorithms. So
exactly, and as I said earlier at the beginning, please do comment. Let me know what can be better, what I've done well. I know it was the first show, so we're a little bit back and forth and a little jittery, but I'm sure the production part looks great. It's me that needs to probably work some stuff out. But had a lot of fun doing this. Next week, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be doing some Real Talk, and next week's Real Talk is going to be the movie Big, starring Tom Hanks, so we're going to be doing that next week. And then we'll, of course, talk some sports. And then I'm going to have our first interview. A gentleman that's been in sports talk radio for over 30 years by the name of Arnie Spanier. He's on Fox Sports Radio right now. He's going to join us, and we're just going to talk about our relationship and that business for a little bit. And he's a great guy. You won't want to miss it because he's a piece of work. Anyway, thanks for joining the first Everybody Has a Podcast with Chris Herbst. I hope you had a good time. We're going to see you next week, and have a great week. Enjoy your sports, enjoy your TV, enjoy your movies. Take care.